Hello everyone, this is me, Dusty Circuit here. Welcome to some more Fortnite with Skade.
Welcome, welcome. We are Evanless at the moment. We're talking about Evan and his trip to Norway
Well,
because
we won't be
Telly's in the call with
we're
us.
not going to be Evanless for long.
Nope, he'll probably join the call here in a little bit and he'll tell us all of it too. And yeah, but no, Telly, I would be, you think he looks sad today? I will be like crying and you'll be like, Blue, stop crying. You could come back and visit. And I'll be like, no, you don't understand. I'm really not going home. Surprise.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like?
I brought a backpack only, and I'm gonna live out of a backpack for the rest of my life.
From now, though, because passports take forever to get.
Oh yeah, no. My trip will probably be next summer, is my guess. Like that's what probably realistically I'm looking at as far as savings and being able to do everything that I want to do. Because I don't want to go and like, I don't want to go and then only have like a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Like. I want to go and have like I'm minimally going to be there 2 weeks, but it could be as long as 3, like, or at least a week in like maybe the UK too or something. Hi, Ellie. Because if I'm going all the way out there, this is like a dream trip for me. But I really need to make it so that that Norway is the last one. It's not that it's hard, Telly. It's that it takes a long time. That's the problem. It is very expensive too.
I'm very, very curious. I would like to know, like, so when the topic of, like, when we talk about how we want to someday visit another country or even move to another country, does that topic bring stress or anxiety to anybody, like anybody in this call?
Not to me. I just get excited. And one of the things that Evan and I were talking about, and I kind of had to remind him a little bit, is all of our countries have amazing things. The US is a great country. We have beautiful scenery. We have amazing people. We have very good cultures. Is there bad? Absolutely, there's bad. In the UK, it's a beautiful country. There's a lot of great, rich history. Is there some bad? Yeah, there's some bad. And I had to remind him that sometimes we need to also focus on the good in our countries. We need to focus on the good things that we also have here, not just focus on the negative. Because it's real easy to kind of just be like, you know, everything is so bad and the US is so bad. And yeah, there are things going on here, especially right now due to politics. There's things going on that are terrible. But the US is still an amazing place to live, and there's still amazing people and amazing things to do here. And sometimes we just have to remind ourselves of that. And Dusty, you kind of actually helped me with that. Like with our talks the other day, it kind of reminded me that, you know what, it's not so bad. I mean, where we live is actually pretty great.
Like, Blue, I'm not saying that to invalidate your feelings. Like, they are valid. It's just like, I feel like if we just talk about, like, all the bad things going on in the US and the UK too much, we could start to forget, like, the good things about our countries.
And that's exactly what I was telling Evan. Because Evan's just like, you know, my country's so shit, I don't want to go back. And I'm like, but it's really not. And especially where you live, the things that are kind of more quote unquote shit about your country, you don't experience where you live. He lives in a very touristy town, and it's very nice. It actually looks very similar to kind of my area and Telly's area look very similar. We live in beautiful areas. And it's kind of like every country is going to have its thing. They just will. Even Norway, and I mean, like, not really, huh, Telly? Norway's perfect, but we'll just say Norway too. Everywhere has its thing.
I doubt Norway's even a perfect country. It's a really, 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 really good country, but not perfect.
Everywhere is going to have something, and it's just a matter of, you know, and for you or for myself and you and all of you, you have to outweigh what that negative is, and is that something that you're okay with, you know? And for the US,
Norway
a lot of people are good with the negative.
It's an expensive country to move to.
It's very expensive.
And I doubt the people who are native to Norway would appreciate this big influx of Americans and Brits coming into their country.
Just me and Evan.
Or whatever country people decide wants to go to Norway or move there.
Yeah, no, I already told Evan, I'm like, you cannot move there until I move there. I have to move there first. But no, Evan has my full support if he was to choose to move there. And who knows, after he visits, you know, these other countries and, you know, gets a little bit more life experience in general, and saves up because, you know, got to save up to move. It's very expensive. And, you know, and then if he's ready and yeah, then do it. Don't wait, do it. You know, life is too short to like try to always wait for a perfect time for everything. If you always try to wait for a perfect time, you're going to miss out on a lot. It is, yeah. Moving's incredibly expensive, and Norway alone is very expensive. And too, I said, you know, you got to look at what job will you do there? Like, you know, what are you going to do? What can you bring to the country? Because when you're applying to be a citizen, that's one of the things you have to tell them. And it's like, you know, what career will you have that you will do to benefit, you know, so that Norway benefits from you, or not just Norway, Australia or China or anywhere. He wants to go to, I think, Japan. Japan's another city he really wants. No, Taiwan. No. Where is it? When he joins the call, ask him. I want to say Taiwan. It might be Japan, though. One of them he really wants to live in. He's already done all the homework. Vietnam, that's it. Thank you, Ali. It was Vietnam. You said it. It was Vietnam. He's done a lot of research into it, and like the cost of living is so low, but you make very good money. They're very great with foreigners coming in and moving in. There's not like a lot of hostility with that. You know, in the U.S., as you guys know, there's a lot of hostility with that. I want a Vietnam hat. Oh, that would be so cool, Ali. I would like one of those too. They look really, really cool. But yeah, it's, you know, every country is going to have positives and negatives. And I think for someone that wants to move from their country, you just have to really outweigh, like, what are the positives, what are the negatives? Are the negatives something that doesn't really affect you, that you're okay with? And if you are, then great. Consider that, you know, a great place to live. If the positives, you know, if the negatives are detrimental to you, it really affects you, then clearly that's not going to be the place for you. And if the place you're currently living, like us in the U.S., you know, if the positives outweigh the negatives, then you stay and you just enjoy the country that you live in. You don't have to move, which is something I think we brought up more yesterday, Dusty and Magic, and we were talking about that. And it's, you know, sometimes you got to remember, we can't just all move. It's very expensive to move. It's very expensive to move. So how are you going to do that, right? People say. And so it's like, you just kind of have to, you sometimes just have to look at what you have, and you look at the country you're in, and you try to find positives in it. You try to make the best of your situation. And then one day, if the opportunity rises and you're able to, then you
I have no choice, so.
Yeah, exactly. And you shouldn't be shamed into living somewhere that you would like to live in, you know? I mean, could you go somewhere else? Sure, absolutely. But what goes with that, you know? Like, how hard will that be to integrate to a new place? Especially for us, because as autistics, you know, we struggle with things, and you know, we need to make sure that, you know, we have accommodations possibly, or help, you know, we're able to get help and things like that. And, you know, that's not always the easiest thing to do, going to another country. Sometimes it's not even the easiest thing to do living in your current country. So
I'm trying to focus on either college or going or that job I wanted or whatever. But
yeah.
Because
the U.S., I will say, though, we do down the U.S. quite a bit. The U.S. is beautiful. There's some beautiful areas in the U.S. that you can visit, that you can live. You know, especially if you traveled, like Volky just recently went halfway across the U.S. to see me, and he got to see my area and see what it looks like and how people are here. And that's different than where he lives, you know. And if I was to go visit Volky in his area, I'm going to see that that's a lot different than where I live. And, you know, for the U.S., if you were to move states, it is in a sense like moving countries, like in Europe. So, you know, the difference, and I mean, we have the same language. I would say in Europe, you're going to be experiencing a lot of other cultures and languages, but distance-wise, and even just, you know, in the U.S., you have completely different mentalities.
And also
depending on where you live.
if you're moving to a country that does not speak English, that's another barrier, learning a new language.
Yep. To be different countries due to different areas and cultures America has. Yeah, exactly, Ali. Exactly. Here it's like, I know when I moved from Georgia to Arizona, it was like moving to a whole new country. I mean, it was just like, it was just so bizarre. Like the mannerisms, you know, where I grew up, you said yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. You didn't talk back to your mom or dad. Like, I mean, it was just like very what you would picture Southern, very, you know, little girls are meant to be seen and not heard. Like, just sit down, be a very good kid. And I moved to Arizona, and I was like 9 years old, and I remember like my friends, I'd go to their house and I'd tell their mom, they'd say, oh, Kimber, would you like to stay for dinner? And I'd be like, yes, ma'am, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, Jennifer, you need to get the manners of your friend Kimber. She's so polite. And I'm just like, why do these people talk to their parents the way they do? Like, it was a culture shock for me just to see the respect you give your parents in one state to the other, along with a whole lot of other things. Like, it was literally like being in a whole nother country, just Georgia to Arizona. Then I moved to California, and that was a whole nother vibe. The people there were totally different. And by the time I acclimated and got real like, okay, I'm a Californian, I know what I'm doing. Well, then we moved back to Arizona. And then I had to get back in that mentality. And then, 20 years later, or 15 years later, I moved to Washington State. And now here it's another culture. And so it's hard. So imagine going to a whole nother country. Like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true too, Telly. You don't have to apply to move to another state. Although, I don't know, states are starting to get real interesting here with their, taking everything to the states now. So, yeah. It's I want to move to Norway. I will never change my mind. Like, Evan has all these other countries he wants to visit and see, and I'm like, he goes, well, what about you? Like what other ones do you want to see? And I'm like, none. Norway. That's where I want to go. I'd like to visit Iceland. I'd like to visit Sweden. I'd like to visit Denmark, and I'd like to visit the UK. But I know I don't want to live in them. I want to live in Norway. I will die Norwegian. So I was probably born one in another life, but that's a whole nother thing. So.
What is it like as soon as you started learning about the Norwegian culture, it just like clicked with you and like, oh my gosh, this is like literally made for me? Is that what you thought about it? Or
you know what's weird? Telly just over the last 6 years now, really just educating me about Norway constantly, and all the research I've done on my own as far as how to move, and I've watched so many videos on integrating is the social standards there, like learning about that, the education system, learning about that, starting to learn Norwegian, which I did start to learn Norwegian, then I stopped for a long time, but I'm back to learning again, Telly. I took like 3 lessons yesterday. So like, starting to do it's like, it feels like home. I don't know how else to explain it other than like, when I think about Norway, I get really excited. Like, I think that's where I belong. Like, that's my home. It's why I joke a lot that in a previous life, I probably was Norwegian, because it just feels like home. Everything Telly says and does, of course, the whole Viking, side of it, the Danes, the Vikings, it just feels like that was me. Like, I probably at one point a shield maiden, in a previous life or something, if you believe in that stuff, which I don't even know that I believe in it, but like, I do feel it when I stand at the water's edge here on my beaches. I just close my eyes and I think I'm looking out at Norway, because Norway is like, mine and Telly's scenery is almost identical. Like, we have very similar climate. Our temperatures are always within a couple degrees. And I just look out at the water, and I just feel the wind, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm waiting on, my husband to come home on his ship, like as if it, Viking times. I know that sounds so dumb and so silly, but like, I just feel like that's where my heart is, if that makes sense. It's just where my heart is like this kind of life. And when I'm on the beaches and I'm in the woods and I'm living my little hermit life over here, I love it. But like, then I'm in the city and I'm working and I'm like, ugh, back to reality, So it's kind of like I get to go on vacation every day in a weird way. Hey,
Hello.
Evan.
Hi.
We're just talking about you.
Oh, were you?
And we were ranting about like just the reality of how difficult it is to move countries, and how, at least me in particular, I kind of tend to feel like the conversation just weighs on me whenever we talk about like how like when Blue talks about the US being bad, and you talk
I'm
about
actually gonna go back.
by
See ya,
magic.
Magic. was what we just talked about, Evan, about how we're going to try and start talking more positive about the countries we live in, and focus on the good too. Because yes, both of our countries have problems, but we also want to acknowledge how great our countries are too.
Yeah.
Because that helps, like with Dusty and
UK has a very.
You sound like you're in the toilet.
Like I don't want to.
I'm in the bathroom.
Like I don't want to say no more talking about the problems of our countries. I just want to have equal emphasis on the good and the bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I can probably set that off. Like, one thing about the UK that I think is, like, really unmatched.
Ready up, guys.
Maybe the other countries do a good job of this as well, but, like, in the UK, we have a very, very unmatched, like, local feeling. Like, there's nothing like a British village in the middle of nowhere. Like, there will be, like, traditions that, like, are not known to the rest of the world, that only affect this one village, and nobody even knows where the tradition came from. Like, we have very, like, the local feeling of England is like something that I haven't, and I'm sure other countries have this as well, but like the UK, it has it in a way that I can't quite describe, and I think you'd have to literally live in England, like live here as a daily resident to understand it. Like it is one thing I'm proud of it, my country, but I like that about England, so there's definitely good things about England to talk about and acknowledge.
Yeah, and it just... I've been watching, like, some videos, kind of like, well, I found this one particular channel that's, like, basically a British YouTuber who's, like, reacting to different things about America, and it just seems like America, it just seems like we, our everything about America, like, from our stores to our houses and, like, our everything, it seems like we have more of everything than like the UK does, or I don't know. It's like we have more in our more houses, bigger houses, more stuff in our houses, more options in our stores, and like more of everything. It seems like we have.
Yeah, we're Americans. We feel we need more than the average Joe, which again is partly one of the reasons I love Norway so much, because the whole flaunting what you have and trying to constantly keep up with the Joneses and have to have more than your neighbor and all that mentality, it'll kill you. I don't
look at it that way. I look at it like you have more options,
We do have more options for things like food, and I mean, we're just a very busy country, but I'm looking forward to a slower way of life at some point in time.
Like, I don't know. I don't look at it as necessarily all a bad thing. I mean, like, I understand, like, to some cultures, it really very much screams like America's better than you. We're America. We're better, bigger, and better than you. But like, I see it like we just have. There's more like we just have more different options. Like we more choices.
America as well. America as well is not like education on like the other countries. So America like truly in its heart believes that like it is better than the rest of the world.
Because that's literally what we're taught, and we don't know better because we're not taught better.
Every single liberal in America, and no, not the America liberal, I mean liberals in general, the default Western ideology of every country that is in the West, that is also capitalist. Every liberal, every American, truly believes that America is the best country in the world, and it takes a lot to explain, that. So,
and then you join a gaming community, and then you talk to anybody from another country, and then you learn how that's wrong.
It's a rude awakening, like, because I know, like, obviously Blue's focused on Norway, and she has a very good reason to, because it's a great place, and I can now say this, I can attest. But I think Blue would be less obsessed over it if she had been taught from a young age by, like, her class or by other people, like, hey, like, this is what it's like in this country, and that country. Because like the first, I'd wager the first real exposure to wow, there are countries that do things better
It
than
was
us.
Telly,
Would literally have
literally.
been Telly. Yeah.
It would have been Telly. Telly's the first one, and then some British people, of course, too, over the years. And I mean, Telly, I used to soak up every word you said back in the day. Little 15-year-old Telly is educating me, a grown ass woman. Like, I'm like, it was like, you know how Evan is like, just, oh my gosh, it's so new. I'm so excited. That was me literally on Discord calls for days and days and days and days and
And what's even
days and
worse,
days and
and what's even
days
worse is like,
and
I
hours and hours.
and what's
Telly
even
was
worse is
my
like
teacher. He is still my teacher.
what's even worse is like I've been like as well, like I've been taught about like the other countries. Like my mother lived in Germany and France. Like she can even say like, oh, like
Israel.
these countries do. Yeah, like, she can even say,
Your
oh,
mom
oh,
has
these
been very
countries do.
cultured. Yeah.
My mom is
Yeah, she
Scottish.
said.
Ooh, that's
Like,
cool. Telly.
she'll talk about like she'll talk about like the she'll talk about like the like the ways like other countries are better than England. So I've always grown up knowing that England is not the best at these things, and that like the other European countries are ahead of us in a lot of ways. So even though it's a bit of a shock coming to Norway and experiencing it, I always knew ahead of time Norway's going to have better this, Norway's going to have better that, because of England,
Yeah.
like us being, because we're not as people in England aren't as nationalized as Americans are.
Yeah. I know, Telly. Teacher husband Teletubby. I don't know. I saw your arm around Evan yesterday, and I was like, My husband's cheating on me.
And then I do. I've been saying it to everybody. Like, every time. So even if I've spoken to them in English, every single time, like a waiter or like a cashier or anybody like is dealing with me, I will always say thank you in Norwegian to them.
Even though I know it already, but teach us.
Tusen takk, or talk, like you could say that basically.
Yeah, it's talk, but like where I think I'm gonna really like, and I think you too, is it's our accents. Like we say the correct words, but we don't sound like them, if that makes sense, which make us sound like such foreigners. We sound like such foreigners.
See, they also say it quicker, like, so it's not tusen takk, it's stuck, like it's literally like just one quick word, because tusen takk means like, so tak means thank you, but tusen takk means like thank you very much, or like, that's, you know.
Oh, I know, I learned it. It's in my, actually, ironic, even though I already knew that one, it was in my Duolingo yesterday.
I'm a big believer in like, I'm a big believer in like, even if like, you can't like speak Norwegian, or like you can't speak the languages like country,
you can still learn at least basics.
You can learn phrases.
Please, thank you. I'm sorry.
Right.
Where's the bathroom?
It's a show of respect. Like I ordered a.
I need to shit. Help.
I ordered a drink like on the train cafe in Norwegian. Like I do my it's not great. Like I'm still speaking English. Yeah. I'm still speaking like English most of the time, but like I'm still showing them like, hey, like I respect you.
I'm trying, right?
I'm
and
trying.
To me, and see, we where I live, it's very touristy, you know that, and and we get a lot of people from other countries too, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, you also need to learn how to say I'm sorry, and they'll be like, I'm sorry, and then they try to speak in their language, and then they say like, oh, thank you, and you're like, you're welcome, and then you just show them appreciation for trying, you know what I mean? Because it's hard when you go to another language, and you shouldn't not travel. You shouldn't never like just always have to stay home and stuff because you're afraid of a new country. Don't learn some basic language, have a good translation, whether it be an app or however it is that you can do it, and get out there and experience stuff, It's why, Evan, I'm just so proud of you. And I know I've told you that, and I'll keep telling you that, but I am proud of you because it takes a lot to go, especially by yourself. You just literally flew internationally and did all this by your own. You took a train, you got your hotel in a country that doesn't even speak your language, and that's a lot. You know what I mean? Like that's awesome. I'm really proud of you. I'm jealous as fuck, and I'm mad at you for it, but I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm very like. I am very.
I'm all those things.
it's been hard because like I have had to kind of like talk to myself a little bit about that. Like I've had to. I think another reason I've been emotional today too it isn't even just the sadness of leaving, which it definitely is. It's not even the sadness of leaving these friends behind, these amazing people. Like, if you think Kelly and like Ragnar are great online, oh man, like they are like all of the kindness and decency you see online is amplified in real life. They're just amazing people, and they have.
I'm excited for that too.
They have really like shown me. They've shown me a hospitality and kindness that not many people would give. However,
they're good at representation.
But I think that the other bit of emotion as well is like it's also the weight of it. Like I haven't really had time to process. Like Jesus Christ, like I literally flew internationally on my own, and this is only my second ever flight. I navigated the train system of Norway on my own. I'm in a country where they don't speak English. I've had to figure all this out on my own. It hasn't. I don't think it's really like kicked in. So I think a lot of that emotion is also.
You're gonna be exhausted when you get home. You're gonna be like needing a vacation from your vacation because you're like on adrenaline. You've been on adrenaline basically since what, Saturday night, Sunday, and you're just gonna get home and be like, oh my god, I just did all that. I fucking did that. I'm a badass. I'm Evan fucking Freeman.
Yeah. I'm also. By
the way, for Dusty's listeners, Freeman's not really his last name. We would never do that.
No. I'm also trying to as well, like, just kind of like also say like, you know, like, wow, like you did this. Like, of course you did this. It's amazing. Like, you did so well. Like,
exactly.
I'm kind of.
Of course you did this. Literally, exactly that. Of course you did this.
So I am very proud of myself. I don't say that to myself a lot. Like, even in my kind of like new, I'm Evan fucking Freeman era.
Which is a great era. You guys are in for a great era with Evan. This is a fun time.
I still need to get better at being proud of myself, but like, I'm also really happy at like the openness of trying new things. Like, in Norway, I've wanted to try like new
That's awesome.
things.
I love that video.
I did that where you cycle on like a train track with them.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I did the diving today. I've never dived before, like off like a high like board.
Oh yeah, we never even got to talk about that. Like, I gotta tell you my diving. I have a story. Well, maybe I've already told it. Did I tell you about how when I was a little kid and my mom like made me take diving lessons? But like the diving instructor made us like dive off of the high dive the first day, and I landed on my back, and I was so upset and embarrassed and all that the whole rest of the lessons I would walk in, and then as soon as my mom drove away, I would turn around and go sit on the bench and wait. Yeah, that was due to diving. That was due to diving because he made us go on the high dive. And like it was like our first time. I was little. I was like, I don't even know, like, well, I had to been under 8, so I was like probably 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. And yeah, that was it for me, man. So I'm proud of you for going on diving. It's scary.
Thank you. It is. And I didn't like do anything impressive. I basically was just jumping off, but I was still proud that like I at least like I saw even just going to the pool. Like I don't know if I'd come to Norway a year ago, I don't think I would have like confidently gone over to the pool. Like I'm realizing, like even if I'm not like
going to the pool,
of course, even though like, so here's the thing, even though like I'm not currently, because I've been so distracted with the holiday, even though I'm not like in like my massive feel good, I'm Evan fucking Freeman stage because I'm kind of busy and focused, which makes it harder to do that. I clearly have way more like confidence in general than I had before because the idea of going to the pool didn't even intimidate me. I was like, ooh, there's a pool here. I've got to check this out. And I just went, and I literally just like...
you did it all! You very much did it all!
Oh my god, stop laughing. You are horrible.
He saw it all! You saw parts of Norway that I don't know that I'll ever see.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
I might die and never have seen what
I hate you. 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 Okay. Do we explain? Should we explain?
If you can find the most PG-friendly way ever to explain, go for it.
Okay.
It's all part of the culture, Evan.
Okay, let's think. Let's think about how to work this.
You guys are in for a ride. Hold on to your seats. Get ready to laugh.
So you guys understand that you understand that when you go to changing rooms in swimming pools, yeah, okay. So you understand that when you go there, but like people have parts of them that they try to conceal. They cover it up, of course, right? That's normal. Yeah? There are parts of them that are best left unseen, out of respect. However, some cultures challenge this idea. Some cultures say, why cover it up? Why cover it up? It doesn't need to be covered up. So, when one is finished with the swimming, they obviously take a shower. But they don't shower with the usual garments that are on. They don't cover up. They usually say in public.
Not in your home personal shower. We had to clarify that part.
Yeah, Blue was being dumb. So
no, I was just really like, what the fuck?
So naturally, you know, when you go there and you see that, you kind of go, huh, okay. So this is a culture where they aren't embarrassed about that. It's not taboo. So yours truly didn't. So yours truly did see this. And I also indulged. Yep. I also joined in.
What? Okay, what is this? What even is this conversation now?
So in Norway circuit. So you know how when you go to a public swimming pool circuit and you usually keep your bathing costume on.
Telly, it's this. Remember? It's that kind of combo.
So you go to a public changing room. You cover up. You don't show people. You don't show people your.
Quiet, Blue.
Your sort of, you don't show people your private areas when you are going to
keep your swimsuit on. In the U.S., you go swimming. You keep your swimsuit on when you rinse off after. You know how like they have you so you rinse the chlorine off of yourself after when you go to like public pools. In Norway, they do not. They take off their swimsuits and do it in their birthday suits. And so Evan partook in this yesterday with some grown men.
Oh, and today. Don't forget today. I did this today too. Don't forget that.
He's enjoying himself. It's not a weird thing. For you guys, it's very normal, Telly, but for us, it's very weird.
Seems like kind of a silly thing to be giggling about, but okay.
Oh, it's funny. It's very funny.
So Blue is poking fun at me for it, but see, here's the thing.
I'm laughing with you.
even though it's not a normal thing in England, even though in England and America
and in the US,
covered up,
and in the US,
yeah, in America and England, I also understood that like Scandinavia, like I knew in Finland and Sweden they didn't do that, so I was thinking, okay, like maybe when I saw this with my own two eyes,
literally.
When I literally saw a like sign saying no bathing costume on, and I saw like a bunch of naked people next to me, I'm like, okay, and I just indulged.
When in Rome, you're Roman.
But you know what? I actually prefer it because one
maybe
it was
you'll
more
start a new trend at your swimming facility.
Well,
maybe you'll start a new movement. You'll start the new movement, and all of England will end up doing the same. Ali, watch out.
In England, it's not unheard of that you'll have you might have old guy who doesn't care.
Yeah, the only people that do this ever here would be an old person.
But no, everybody just. But I actually almost prefer it because one, you actually get to rinse every part of you off. Two, it can be quite like
hotel room and do it though.
No,
it's cleaner. Oh man!
And also, also,
this is funny.
But also, it shows that it's not a taboo thing. We all have that. It's not a weird thing.
Wait, it's the same. You guys shower before the same? Because here in the U.S., you have to there's these little showers right by the pools, and you shower before you go in, but you have your suit on. And then when you get out, you still have your suit on, and you shower after, and then you put on your
Are we gonna play another round, or are we just gonna be talking about this?
No, we're playing. I'm ready to.
So it's the same in England. You have to shower before you enter the pool. Yeah. So
with freedom, we're gonna be calling it with freedom.
Freedom. But I do Firstly, for me, because I think I understood that Scandinavia does this. When I did see it, I was like. I wasn't like, whoa. I was like, oh, okay, so they also do this. I literally didn't even think twice. I was like, okay. I was like, cool. And so then I thought, right. But then, so when I got to the shower, I saw the sign that no bathing costume. And I was like, do I? And I was like, do I just skip the shower?
I would
After
have
that,
literally had just gotten my towel and gone up to my room and then, you know, showered privately in my hotel room.
and I thought,
not Evan, he's bold.
I thought it's
He
the
said,
shower's
fuck
there.
it. When in Norway, I'm Norwegian.
Well, also, I just thought, you know what?
I couldn't have done it, but I'm proud of
Thank you. But, well, I also thought the shower's there to be used. Like, that's its purpose. You're supposed to do that. So it wasn't like as if I was like an alien, like, you know, and I was like, or like I was exposing myself to everybody. I was just joining in. So it actually was like quite freeing. And yeah, it's actually it's something it's something I'll miss in England.
Oh, I'll be Norwegian, but not till I live there. That's my thing.
So,
I gotta ease into that. Yeah.
So when Blue is like, Blue before when she's like, oh, Evan, I'm so glad you got to experience all parts of Norway. You got to see everything at the pool.
Now you guys see why I was laughing so hard.
That's why she was saying.
I'm immature and have the mentality of a 12-year-old.
I got naked and had a naked
really fucking funny. You guys have to admit that's really funny.
It is. It was great culture.
So Evan has experienced Norway in all the ways possible, really.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I'm very happy with how the trip's gone. And I'm really grateful.
I was last night, man. I was getting videos from everybody. I was just so jealous. I was like, you guys are just the music and everyone singing and the beverages flowing and you met a girl. Like that was awesome.
Well, so it's interesting because
talking to girls, that was cool.
Well, so it's interesting because this girl, like, see, it's not weird at all in England. You will have like women of that age who like are drunk and on their own who will just randomly talk to you. I've had this happen like 3 different times in England. So she had like 2 beverages with her. And so she was sipping on one, but she had like another one. So I walked over and I just joked. I was like, "Ooh, is that one for me?" And then she just kicked out the table, like she kicked out the chair for me, and then just pointed to the beer.
With your pickup lines, look at you! You didn't hear that?
And so anyway,
is that beverage for me?
So awesome. literally we had like a half an hour conversation with her, like all of us, all because I just walked over and was like, "Ooh, is that for me?"
And it was Leanne. Leanne was wild.
Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, Leanne.
Ellie, we gotta let Evan in our little village area on Midgard, and we'll have to get like a pig or something and name it Leanne and put it next to his house, so he can keep practicing his conversation. What other Minecraft mob would you do?
Are you calling my Leanne? You're calling my Leanne a pig. That's so mean.
Oh Lord, he's into the my. I told Telly, don't let him go home with her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Yep, you told me that yesterday.
It was so funny.
It's funny.
It was nice. Nothing interesting really happened. We were just talking, but it was.
I feel like I've kind of gotten to go on this trip with you, just with all the pictures and videos. He shoved a chili sausage in my mouth. Yeah, didn't she burn your mouth, you said?
Oh, she did the same with me.
Yeah, I heard you both ate her sausage. I had quite a bit of laughs over that last night.
They actually taste like we have a thing called.
Share a woman's sausage. Did Ragnar have any of her sausage too? Did DBG have any of her sausage?
I think Ragnar was too intimidated by the will of her sausage.
We wanted to try her, whatever. She literally shoved it at me. Like, here, I'm eating sausage. You're not eating sausage. Enjoy my sausage.
Me and DVG was just laughing the inside, so I'm just like chilling, and then yeah. Oh, also I've also got to brag about this. I'm so sorry. I smoked them at darts. The last time I played darts was when I was like 10 years old, and I only ever played it once in my life. We all at one point played darts and said, okay, whoever like loses has to like buy everybody a drink. And I smoked them all at like darts. I got nearly a bullseye on one of them, like literally the closest you can get without being in the red dot. Literally. Mm-hmm.
Well, you have also been you've been doing your archery on Minecraft, so you know.
Oh gosh, good.
You've been practicing.
Yeah.
Too funny. Oh man, you guys are cracking me up.
time.
Like,
I'm almost sad we're not going out again tonight, but like I think that it's like one of those things you don't want to like spoil it by going again. And again, I'm British and they're not, so it's easier for me to want to get up and go.
You would drink them under the table, yes.
Yeah.
They need days to recover. That would be me.
I told DVG.
Recovery day.
Oh yeah, this is funny. Kelly says, I told DVG and Ragnar I would take the loss and pay so nobody would fight about it, but both said no and kept arguing who lost. Then Ragnar ended up saying, I have more money than you anyway, so I guess you want me to pay?
And then he paid.
Ragnar
He's the one with the job.
Yeah, Ragnar did the money waving basically, and that was that. But
that's awesome. I would have been like, sweet, I'll take another beverage, please. And I want to go.
I had a street fight with Ragnar as well. That was fun.
I saw. Was he in the partaking of the river video, Telly, or was he not in that one? No. Okay.
The river video.
Yeah, we don't talk about the river video.
What river video?
You weren't there. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Me and DVG at one point explored and looked for other places while Telly and Ragnar chilled for a bit. That was cool. Me and DVG got along really well yesterday.
I heard.
That
He's
was
a cool guy. DVG, for those that don't know, it's that means deep voice guy, and he got named that because I could not get over how deep his voice was. How long ago was that, Telly? Like 6 years ago? 5 years ago? Mm-hmm. His real name is DVG, not that, but...
DVG was really cool because I'd spoken to him.
That was a great name.
Yeah, I'd spoken to DVG briefly when I first arrived because he was there with them waiting for my train when I first arrived. But because he's been busy this week, the first proper time we really spoke was literally yesterday. So we just had a bunch of long conversations. We both talk as much as each other, I think, when we're in the right mood. We had a lot of interest in we talked. It was a conversation you'd like. It was very sociological issues.
Very philosophical. That's
yeah,
cool.
the singer was awesome too. The guy who was playing the music, the live music, was
2021.
Awesome.
So he's been called DVG since 2021. I think that was when I really got to know him as far as him being, in calls and stuff, and we got to hear him, and I was like, holy cow, his voice. He has such a deep voice. He has a great speaking voice, DVG does. Not as good as Telly's, but it's good.
What is, so Evan, whenever it's you're not well, I don't know what I'm really saying, but whenever it's you're not out and about in Norway with Tully and Ragnar and those people, what things actually are you
well, the swimming was without them.
what's kind of how is each day I guess. Is it you're doing a different thing each day, or is it there are a few days where you kind of did the same kind of stuff? Or...
Well, so I've tried to do a bit of different things. So yesterday, I actually before I met up with them, I actually explored I was actually exploring the area that I'm in. I went and got a McDonald's. I had a breakfast / lunch. Because of course I did.
I love how you call it a McDonald's. Do you catch that, Bulky? I got a McDonald's. We call it. Yeah. We would just say I went to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or I ate McDonald's.
So then I was.
Hey, you had your arm around him. I saw it. I have video evidence, sir.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Telly.
So then for me, I was exploring. I sat down on a bench and just sort of relaxed for half an hour. I spoke to Tom for a little bit. We were just messaging. He's got into this new obsession over something, so we were just talking about that.
Ooh, what is it?
It's he wants to open. So he got into trading cards, and how the sales of it, the economics of it, and now he's literally committing to trying to open his own trading card stock, which I just think is really awesome. He was talk me out of something, will you? And I tried to talk about it a bit, but it ended up making him want to do it more. And he's you did a terrible job of this.
Sometimes.
Well, but see, here's the problem. I just said this to him, but he's you did a terrible job of this. I was this says more about you than it does about me. And I think And I said to him, I like to think that you only brought this up to me so you could blame me if this goes under. And he's like, I can't confirm nor deny. That's fine.
That's funny.
Anyway, so I ended up doing a loop, and I'd noticed it on the first night, but I saw there was like a big pool, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go in and just have a look and see like about entry, like just see how I feel about it, like gauge it. So I walked into the lobby, and I was like,
your trunks?
I didn't have trunks with me, I had to buy some.
Oh well, I mean, okay, that's good. You bought some, I guess.
This is the first. This is the first and last time I will ever like come to a foreign country without trunks, because I didn't think I was gonna swim in Norway at all. But then I realized, wow, actually, I did want to. So I did that for 2 hours, explored everything, and then left, went back to my room, took a small walk, and then I met with like Kelly, and then today I went out for another small walk, and at another McDonald's. And then I went to the pool again, as I thought, you know what, I really enjoyed it yesterday. So, basically circuit, bit of everything. Bit of the same, bit of different stuff. You'll always find things
Telly didn't go swimming with him. He did that all by himself.
Yeah, no, I was on my own.
Like Telly said, he couldn't handle that with him.
So it's like you've done climbing, swimming, and just kind of like going around, like I guess, like, what area of Norway have you been spending most of your time in? Or, like, have you been kind of moving around?
Well, so basically the same area, like, the entire time. So with exception to when we traveled up to, like, the different, like, places in Norway, I've spent my entire time, like, in, like, this area, like, this big kind of town area. And so I've just been wandering around.
Would that be where Telly lives, or...?
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to say where it is, but yes, it is. That's how we've met each other easily.
Yeah. He's been in Oslo and he's been in Stavanger, which is another town, but the town that they're staying in right now is different.
Yeah.
So you've been in what, 3 towns, I think, or 4? No, because you went where the bikes are. That was another town.
Yeah, that was.
Which when that's gonna be when Telly and I are there, we have like literally 2 weeks worth of stuff planned all over the place.
I hope you do the bikes, Blue. Like, it was one of the coolest things I have ever done.
The trip we planned, me and Nikki.
And so here's the thing, like Telly, like, and Ragnar, like, weren't too, like, bothered by the bikes, but I saw them. Because Gustav had shown me it, like, a few months ago, because he did it, because it's a thing in Sweden as well. And I was like, man, I want to do that. And so when I saw it in the town we were at, I was like, oh, we have to do this. And so I literally bought them tickets, because, like, they were very kind, because they could have both said, no, Evan, sorry, we don't want to do this. And I'd have gone, fair enough. But I was, like, so excited to do it that, like, I literally paid for that ticket because I really wanted.
The videos are really funny. And Telly posted one a few minutes ago. If you guys didn't see
the videos do not do it justice, though. It was hard work. Like, it's an uphill terrain, so we had to pedal hard and like constantly to get up. Like, it was exhausting. I can't possibly describe it. It was really, really hard to do that. However, what made it really positive is because it was all uphill, it meant we just got to just sit back and relax on the way back down. But yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, it was an African guy, right? He was an awesome guy. He was really kind.
Is there anything else you really, really want to do in Norway before you leave? Like,
I want to spend another day with Telly and company because, like, I think they're awesome, and I do feel like I'm not gonna say I let them down, but like I do feel like we could have spent more time together, and I kind of did put a pin in that. So I want to do that, and then I want to explore and just like I want to buy a souvenir to take home with me. I'm thinking of buying a watch in Norway as because I want to buy a new watch. And my uncle always usually buys a watch.
So you're also putting like practicality into it. Like, I want a souvenir from Norway, but I want it to be a practical one.
Yeah, I know it's a silly thing, but I don't do like those flag things or like a Norwegian pen.
I have a flag from Norway, and it even says blue on it, BLOO, because Telly sent it to me, and I have a full-size Norwegian flag in my room too.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but like I'm not gonna buy like a novelty like gift toy thing, right? I'd rather buy something that like I can use and will appreciate, but also does mark the occasion. So I'd rather say, "Oh, I bought this watch while I was in Norway." That to me is much better than
Evan, I can't blame you. I feel like this might sound sexist. Like, I'm sorry if it does, but it seems like us, like men, like are more like. It's like we're more focused on practicality, like practical things, whereas women are more like, let's just be as ostentatious as we can.
I think it can be. I think like it's definitely changing. I think women also can be very practical. I would say though, in general, yeah, I think women are more about sentimentality, whereas like men are more like, what could I get out of this? So for me, like a woman is less likely to go, I want to buy a watch from Norway than a man is. Like I think what I'm doing is more a guy thing. So it all depends on your perspective, but like I know women who have done the same thing. So nice blue, very nice.
Thank you. That's from Telly. And
But,
now I'm going to show you my big Norwegian flag. I had to pull it off my wall.
So tomorrow I want to find like something like I might buy like either a jacket or like as well, not like a big jacket, but like just something I can say, oh, I bought like this piece of clothing from Norway, and then yeah, a watch maybe, and preferably a Norwegian watch if I can, like a Norwegian branded watch.
Get something that you can't buy at home. That's always my thing. There's my big flag. Get something you cannot. That takes up my whole desk. If that tells you how big this flag is. Get something that you can't have, that you can't get at home, because otherwise it could be like, well, I could also just order that online, or I could, buy that at home, kind of thing. So yeah. I would get a sweater. You already know that, but I do have not a real one, but I have one like similar. And one day I really want to get a sweater. Telly, you have to show him exactly what it is I'm looking for. And of course I want a bunad if you want to pay for that, Evan. Did you see how much those things cost?
Oh god.
They're like $30,000.
There was a really cool coat that I saw when I was in Stavanger that I really wanted to buy, but it was just really big, and I didn't know if it would be practical for me to like walk around with. So I did like talk myself out of it. But I might, if I see one like today, I might do it.
Yeah, try to always get something. That's always my thing when I go to like other countries like Mexico or Canada. I always because those are the only really countries. Well, I've been to a few others, but those are my main ones. And like I always am like, well, whatever I get, I need to make sure that it's something that I can only get there. You know what I mean? That it's not like I could have gone and got in my own hometown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
This is where my flag stays. Show you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find like there's some Norwegian watch brands that are quite big. So I'm gonna see if I can find one that I like, and I'm gonna see if like there's any shops nearby that sell it like where I'm at. And then yeah.
Is it like a Norwegian watch brand? I see. I wouldn't get a watch, and I'm not. And this is me, not you. So please don't. I'm not trying to tell you don't get a watch. I wouldn't get a watch because I wear my Apple Watch, and I'm like addicted to my Apple Watch.
Yeah, I don't like those.
So like, I only have one watch. I've been given other watches for gifts before, and I'm like, that's really nice, but I will literally never wear it because I love my watch. You know what I mean? So I can't.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of the autism in me too. It's like I already have a good one of those, so why do I? Why would I get another one?
I prefer, like, I get that. I'm not really a smartwatch person, so for me, this is an easier investment.
I mean, if anything, Evan wants to get away from like smart stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think though, but I mean, it may not even be a watch. Like that's a good one. It may not even necessarily be a watch. I get. That's what I'm thinking, but see, I'd like to look around tomorrow, and I like to think
you get what you want to get. So you'll see. You'll go shopping and get what you want to get.
Well, I was just about to say, yeah. I think like I will probably like look around, and I think the souvenir I want to take home will find me, not I will find it.
Yeah. Me.
Although
I don't want to be taken home, I want to be taken to Norway.
Ooh, an Arctic one. Bruvik time. Let's see. Do they sell it locally? Bruvik. Bruvik time. That's the brand. Yeah, they got a
I'm always looking for like Norwegian hoodies. I want a hoodie. Like not the heavy Maria sweater, because I got sort of one, but not a real one. But yeah, but I want a, I really want a, like even just a hoodie, just like a Norwegian hoodie, that says Norway or something on it. I'm always looking for stuff, but it's hard to find that stuff here in the U.S. because, well, everything here is U.S. You pay for Evan's stuff, Evan, ask the guy in the store, what is your most expensive item? That's funny. That's funny. Evan.
Yeah, so, yeah, literally, like, so when Ragnar lost the game of darts, I asked Telly to distract Ragnar, and I just asked the guy, like, I was like, ooh, like, what is the most expensive thing here? And he's like, this one. And so I was like, I'll take that, that's perfect. That's pretty nice.
You did not do that. Did you for reals do that?
I did. But it was because
hang on
Ragnar...
1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry, my phone's calling. I gotta go. 1 second.
Okay. It sounds really mean-spirited out of context, but like me and Ragnar were having like kind of like a masculinity battle. So and because he lost the game of darts, it just felt like it felt kind of like it felt appropriate. There was no bad blood. Like me and Ragnar, like me and Ragnar are cool, obviously. I hope.
Well, I'm really, really glad you're having a great time, Evan.
Thank you. Right?
I mean, I knew you would, but it's, it's really cool to see you are having a great time.
I'm gonna go out and get some food in a minute. For some reason, I got a really big appetite today. But a massive ice cream. I had fish and chips, and now I want to get McDonald's again. I'm tempted to go out and do that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like when you came to my house and saw it. It's really awesome. It also just tells you that you never know like what's going to come out of life. Like, if you told me a year ago I'd be going to Norway on my own, like to see Telly, I'd have been like, I don't even know that guy. Like, why would I go and see Telly? And then like Telly like literally came to like where I live, and then I wanted to go and see him again. So it's crazy like how quickly things change.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to actually go because this is my doctor's office calling, and then we're trying to get something approved, and it's just been a nightmare all week.
Yeah,
so
no problem at all, bro.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna have to go. So I'm leaving the game. So Dusty, I won't be here for your outro, but Evan will be here. He can do the ringer. And bye, Bulky, and bye Ollie. It was good to hang out with you.
It's nice.
And bye, Telly.
Bye.
No more putting your arms around Evan.
Bye, Blue. It was nice for you to hang out.
Yeah, no, I'll be around. I have to go. This call's gonna be a little bit. So I told them, let me just a minute. I said, give me a minute, and I can work this out. So.
You like my grandma with the long goodbyes.
Bye. Bye. See ya.
Bye. Alright, so okay, well, do you want to do your outro? Because I need to get out. I'm gonna head out too, so I can go and get some food.
Well, yes, thank you all for watching. This has been me, Dusty Circuit here, and put some more Fortnite with Skade. If you liked what you saw, remember to do like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to see my next video, be sure to hit the bell for notifications.
Peace out. Ring.